The Andy Griffith Show was like one of the most wholesome, family-friendly shows ever, right?
No, the false alarm. She got out of that tree all by herself.
But let's be real. Even widowed sheriffs have needs, and sometimes a guy's gotta move on. So who did Andy actually end up with on the show? How did the Andy Griffith Show end, and why did it end so suddenly? Let's get into Andy's behind-the-scenes affair with Aneta Corsaut. Andy himself admitted he had a hard time creating chemistry with his female co-stars, but man, did that all change when she joined the cast. In fact, Griffith was so into this red-haired beauty that he was apparently ready to leave his wife and kids for her. If you'd like to support the research we do to uncover deep stories like this one, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support means we can continue to bring these untold truths to light. So, the fictional town of Mayberry was based on Andy Griffith's real hometown of Mount Airy, North Carolina, and the indoor scenes were shot at Desilu Studios. The outdoor shots were filmed at the RKO 40 Acres backlot in California, and the downtown scenes were actually filmed on the old Gone with the Wind Atlanta set. The crew had to be really careful with their camera angles because the Quonset huts from Gomer Pyle USMC were right across the street from Wally's filling station.
Yeah, another one I got you ought to try. High-octane ethyl.
Oh, is that new one, that high-octane?
That whole famous lot was torn down in 1976 and is a business park now. Andy and Barney. Andy and Opie first showed up on the Danny Thomas Show back in 1960. When Andy got his own show, he brought in his good friend donknotts to play Deputy Barney Fife. The two actors had met on Broadway in the 50s and always worked really well together. Viewers tuned in every week for Andy's folksy wisdom, but also to watch Barney just steal every single scene he was in. Griffith was already a successful stand-up comic and expected to be the main funny guy. Whoops. Barney instantly became the fan favorite, and Andy was cool with becoming his straight man. Both actors only thought the show would run for 5 seasons, and donknotts left some huge shoes to fill when he left to do other things. They thought about Jerry Van Dyke as a replacement. He even guest-starred an episode. But he decided to star in The Mother, the Car. What a bad move. So then they got Jack Burns to join as Deputy Warren Ferguson, but he tested so badly that they wrote him off the show after just 11 episodes with zero explanation. What happened to Opie's mom? When Andy and Opie were on the Danny Thomas Show, viewers learned that Andy lost Opie's mom when the boy was just the least little speck of a baby. But other than that, we never hear much about her. Ron Howard said his on-screen relationship with Andy was a lot like his relationship with his own dad, and that Griffith became a real father figure to him, on and off screen. You know, in the opening credits where Opie throws a rock and Andy gives him that nod? Years later, Griffith realized his own dad used to give him that exact same nod when he was growing up. Aunt Bee moves in. Aunt Bee moves into the Taylor house in the first episode, but unfortunately, Andy Griffith and Frances Babyai, who played Aunt Bee, did not get along behind the scenes at all. Andy once said, "There was just something about me she did not like." Other cast members also said she was temperamental and tough to work with. In an interview, Ron Howard was like, "I just don't think she enjoyed being around children that much." Babyai even hit George Lindsay with an umbrella once for swearing off camera. After she retired, she moved to North Carolina and lived alone with 14 cats. When Andy Griffith and Ron Howard went to visit her in 1972, she turned them away. But in 1989, when she was terminally ill, she contacted Andy to make peace. The great Frances Babyai passed away. How many girlfriends did Andy Taylor have? Andy Taylor wore a lot of hats. Sheriff, Justice of the Peace, Opie's dad. He was also Mayberry's most eligible bachelor and had a few love interests. But Andy Griffith told an author, "We never knew how to write for women." He blamed his own awkwardness for not having any romantic chemistry with his co-stars. Andy spent most of the first season trying to woo Ellie Walker, but the actress, Eleanor Donahue, decided not to come back for season 2. She claimed she had no on-screen chemistry with Griffith. Joanna Moore joined as Peggy McMillan, but she was let go after 4 episodes because producers thought she was too glamorous for Andy. Then, Aneta Corsaut showed up as the schoolteacher, Helen Crump, for the first time in Season 3. It was supposed to be a one-time thing, so the writers thought it would be funny to give such a pretty girl an ugly name. But after they saw her on-screen chemistry with Griffith, they made her a recurring character. Did Andy Griffith ever kiss Helen? In 1964, Andy Griffith told the Associated Press he wanted his on-screen relationship with Helen to develop slowly. He admitted he was uncomfortable shooting one particular romantic scene outside his office, where Andy leans in for a kiss but chickens out at the last minute. He told the director it was a little too much for the conservative sheriff and said, "Wouldn't it be better if we sort of made love with her eyes a little bit?" And I think I speak for everyone when I say, no, Andy, that's weird. Andy thought it would be funnier and more in character if Barney interrupted them. And the director agreed. After they shot it that way, Griffith remarked, "Boy, that works better."
Try to look at it from my side, will you? You see, you broke the law. Now, it's from little misdemeanors that major felonies grow. And it's my duty. It's anybody's duty.
The rumor. Andy and Helen keep their relationship under wraps, but the rumor mill was just as active in real life. Andy Griffith was married with 2 kids, but he was openly flirting with Corsaut on set, and they often sneak away together. In 2015, the author of Andy and Dawn claimed Andy couldn't get enough of Aneta and popped the question at least once and possibly 2 or 3 times, as Aneta hinted in later years. She turned him down. Even though they tried to keep the affair secret, the word got out. According to that book, Andy was furious after a young crew guy dressed up as a waiter and delivered dinner to their Hollywood hotel room as a practical joke. Did Andy and Helen have a baby? Andy decided to turn in his badge after 8 seasons, and the series continued for 3 more as Mayberry RFD, with Andy as an executive producer. Many of the original cast stayed on, and the show's pilot episode actually featured Andy and Helen's wedding.
The ring.
That season, the newlyweds came back to Mayberry to show off their new little bundle of joy. Griffith guest starred in 5 episodes of Mayberry RFD. Life after Mayberry. The Andy Griffith Show ended its run while it was still at the top of the Nielsen ratings, a rare thing only I Love Lucy and Seinfeld also managed to do. After leaving the show, Andy Griffith in 1983 was diagnosed with leg paralysis from Guillain-Barré syndrome. He spent 7 months in rehab, but returned to TV in 1986 as the country lawyer Ben Matlock. Matlock ran for 9 seasons, and Aneta Corsaut guest starred in 9 episodes. We can only speculate if they picked things back up where they left off. In 1976, Andy Griffith got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and his Andy Taylor character was ranked number 8 on TV Guide's 50 Greatest TV Dads list. The great Andy Griffith passed away in 2012. Aneta Corsaut continued acting for 2 more decades, but she never married or had kids. Aneta died of cancer in 1995 at the age of 62. It's amazing to look back at these classic shows and the talented people who made them. The stories behind Mayberry are just as fascinating as the ones we saw on screen. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, please let us know by hitting the like button. It's a huge help for the channel. And if you love Classic TV and enjoy hearing these great stories, be sure to subscribe so you can join us for the next one. Thanks for watching.